What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. Hope you guys had a great day today. Today was a phenomenal Tuesday. Still sticking with the pennies. The pennies are giving amazing returns. I traded OBLG today, SOBR, and I did trade LIDR. I just didn't trade a lot of size in that one, which is fine. That was also a nice move. I had a guy who asked me on Twitter, "Hey, how are you utilizing the book? What are the best things that you've gotten from the book so far?" And that's a great question. One of the biggest things that I do utilize this tool for is when I'm setting up my watch list for the morning, right? I go through the gappers, have names that are potentially on watch for continuation, Peggy, TKLF, and potentially a few other names, right? And as the day goes on, new names start to pop up. I like to pull the books up and see what kind of liquidity is on the current order book right here, and then go from there, right? Even a couple names right here. I didn't catch Peggy or this TKLF, which these names were on watch for continuation. I missed the Peggy front leg, but TKLF is just a great example of seeing something that kind of opens up right here at 9:30 and doesn't really have a lot of appetite of buyers. There was some bidders on here. This just pulled back, broke down, and pretty much got heavy right here on the offer side once we started pulling back more. So that I don't really trade these or even like the way this looks like on the current order book or liquidity wise or how they're auctioning the price. So that's a really great way for me to run through my watch list right there and the names that I'm looking to trade and see the things that I like to see now that I've been utilizing this for a while now, and then go from there, right? It keeps me, no, no, I don't like this one. Okay, maybe this one. Peggy, I like to see weak opens and trade when things are pulling back at first. So I missed this. This just kind of opened up, consolidated, and started to just take off right here. There was one really good opportunity I thought that you could have took this off of that made sense to me. I just didn't slap this. That's actually a really great book flip right there. But this did flag right here before it put up another leg over previous area of interest. Some control right here. This got swept, and there wasn't any more liquidity trying to hold it down at this level. So there was no real breakdown right here, and then this nice bidder came in right here at 34 cents, and then this started to actually take off. Nice pullback right here on this one, and then a nice little book flip right here once we broke through that liquidity again as they removed it and did not stack it again. I just missed that one. OBLG was the main one for me. This did actually set up, I thought, really nice daily wise too. So after this opened, this kind of consolidated a little bit. And to me, there was a nice controlled walk down right here. So this was key right here. And these guys getting pulled and this not breaking down. Daily wise too was super important. Good front runner right there at 20. OBLG. OBLG to me over 24 cents was golden from this previous 522 day. I really trade around VWAP now. I don't really care about a lot of other things. I know a nice 5-minute 8. I love that, right? Traded LIDR, traded SOBR, which I'll show you guys next too. But I like to be able to kind of soak. There's a nice breakdown zone right here on OBLG. Did not follow through, and now we're starting to hover over that 24 VWAP day from 522. Big thing on this one was for me was to continue seeing the increasing volume that this was setting up at before it actually broke out, and then you see volume kind of caught. This was trading at 48 mil on 522, and this was setting up. We were like 35, 37 mil, and then the volume came in, and then we started to really crank. This did a nice, fast, sharp pullback. This reminds me of something that I see JRET talk about, really quick swipe downs. But this right here pulled back to that VWAP level and did not break down, consolidated really well. The book was phenomenal on this one for a lot of reasons because of this walk down right here. There was a lot of liquidity that went through right here at 24 cents. Couldn't see on the book, but it was on level 2. And they did it actually a few times, not only right there, but a couple spots right here. There's a lot of volume going through these volume dots right here. This actually is a great pullback right here to a previous area with no breakdown, and then a bidder came up right here. So that's cool, little spoof bidder. There's actually happened up a couple times right here. And then the daily did what it did to do. The daily did what it had to do, which broke out over 32s, and we got a little micro clear out up here, and then a stall, which is fine. Okay, so that was a great move. It was like 35% on that, 22 ads, and then I had 24-cent ads. I soaked that one because it was setting up, and to me, if I had to pick this one over Peggy, where this opened up on the daily right here, if this was going to fail with that type of soak volume, it would have been pretty obvious. So that compared to Peggy, after already Peggy paid really well the past couple of days, and this one got super extended. All right, and although this did flag, right, this is that one setup on the book I showed earlier at 34s, broke out, so I thought this was great. But even when this was flagging over here, it's like it pulls back and it flags. Where we're at on the daily, it's just too high. All right, so I was kind of thinking this would go tap 50 cents, but that did not happen because the book on Peggy kind of really changed up here at highs on this one. Okay, right, a lot of this really should have went right here, and it did not, and they restacked it, and there was just not a lot of buyers trying to slap 280,000 shares right there, and it didn't even test it. As you can see, you can spread the book, right? And then started to really break down and sell through all the bids, and then the offers on this book right here got pretty stacked and pretty heavy. A lot different from when this name ran on this day. All right, which just had a really nice run on 523, and then this finally gaps up. So important, right? Small caps, it's just a cycle. Everything is a cycle, right? They consolidate, they reverse split, they dilute, they they will bleed for months and months and months, and then you get some PR, some news pops out, and things start to really go crazy, right? There's a lot of volume, there's a lot of big players on there, and then they start to roll over, and you're going to get a lot of backside pops, until something finally gaps up over them. And then they're trading above that volume. There's liquidity that's trapped, but there's always an agenda for small caps, okay? So if it's so important to monitor the cycle and see how these dailies kind of really set up, right? Because there's a lot of cycles that happen. They gap up, go crazy, and they sit there, they consolidate, they have a little run, fails, consolidates, pulls all the way back, trades sideways for a while. They have window gaps, so important, right? This one's trading in that window gap. I thought maybe potentially 44 and 50 cents on the daily, but it's so important. It's so key to really track that and understand that, right? And if you miss the train, you miss the train, because they will just dilute after they go on a nice run, right? So you got to be mindful. There's front side of moves and there's back side of moves, right? And where we're trading on the daily is really, really important, okay? Where was this? There was another one, POAI, right? I'm not interested in these really anymore. Oop. Doesn't mean you can't get a long scalp out of it, right? Definitely can, for sure, right? This is a nice little flag right here. You can get a nice little move. Totally did not play this one and missed it. But, when I look at these now, I'm like, okay, that's the 10%, right? 10% pop, not bad. I look for ones that try to give just a lot more return because I like to hold. So this would just be a scalp, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nice little scalp. 20-30 cents, and you're good to go. But again, where this is trading for me on the daily, as it gaps up and starts to flag, and you get that little scalp, so we're already trading really high percent wise, and these either go a couple ways. They'll either pop, consolidate really low, fill the gap up, and then sell off, or they'll do a pre-market structure, pop, open up really high, trap some longs, and then sell off, close red, and fill the gap back down, right? So it's just really super important. It's key. SOBR, let me not forget about that one. That was nice. SOBR was great. This is another one that caught midday, 12 o'clock. I think ran into like 1400 or almost, right? Yeah, about 1400. This was a great flag setup right here. All right, shout out to Diz on this one because this was a great setup. Was able to catch a nice little scalp out of that one. Intraday move scalp. Where this was setting up right here initially, zooming out of the daily, I thought was really nice because this is the bottom of this level right here. So this actually broke above the ceiling right here and then consolidated. Nice stair step down of volume or decreasing volume after a nice push up. There's a mix of volume buyers and sellers in this candle. Super important to break that down. And then again, even on the book was fun. I love the book, right? Book ski. Let's go. Really nice controlled walk down over here. They control it, pulls back. This was that area where it's not breaking down. Really see some sellers get absorbed. Seller exhaustion stops, and then you kind of see some heavy players step in right here and start to add right there. It did a little funks, but this to me, it was soaking not only in the book but level 2. They're pulling these offers and throwing in a nice bidder right here, 66K. And this started continuing. Actually broke out. Did the same thing again, flagged over here. Did not break down. And this was important to me. You know, I see this a lot. It's over and over and over again. Sellers get absorbed, exhaustion comes through, and then another bidder steps up, and then sellers are exhausted right here. And this actually puts in another leg. And this one was great. This was a nice return on that, even though it was small size for this one. But you can see how the book changes immediately after this starts to break out, gets real heavy, and now buyers are getting absorbed. Okay, so talk about sellers getting absorbed. Now buyers get absorbed because they remove this liquidity, but then there's no more follow through on this. And then the lack of bids and offers come in, and how this book changes and gets heavy. Really told the story on that one, right? Some lower highs into liquidity, buyers get absorbed again, more offers at 61, and then that's all she wrote on that one. Ran, squeezed through the 200s, and then kind of failed. So I see this a lot, which, you know, Lucy was a phenomenal runner on Friday. Again, that was a phenomenal return on that one. They actually did an offering today, so I really like to stay. Day one moves for me are great. You know, did an offering. Maybe they try to do a liquidity trap after that offering. We'll see how this sets up and trades. But this name, guys, was phenomenal on Friday. Just the holding and the leveling up on this is just insane. And this was a massive return for Lucy. And the book was really great on this. Let me see, where is my Lucy? Before you dropped that offering and killed it. Real quick, let me take off this absorption indicator. That's a great indicator too if you start utilizing it and tracking it as well. Yeah, Lucy was great early on, and how this actually consolidated and soaked right out of the gates right here over this previous area. This was a really great ad right here. And then again, as this started to consolidate before it started to rip and go crazy, showed plenty of opportunities and areas to soak. This was the best one to me. Seeing this controlled walk down with these offers, and then pulls back to this previous area of interest right here at 31. And there, this is when there was such aggressive market slappers on this book, and it was great. There was so much volume pumping through this name, and every pullback got soaked. This was a great pivot add to off 38, 37 cents right here, and the continuation on Lucy was phenomenal. Lucy, I had a big target for 42 cents on this one from getting early soaks. To me, this was the best daily. Again, really bottomed out daily over 22 cents was key. This was the previous VWAP day on that one, and this name was pumping and almost had a billion on that one that day. All right, so this one was great. You know, utilizing the book for previous areas and soaks. Traded this Lucy very similar to OBLG. All right. Okay, one more last thing real quick for the guys who got Global Plus, and then I'm out of here. Guys, this is a great market pulse. Is a great tool that you can utilize. what you do is you create these little boxes right here. You go through your watch list. All right, they might not all load, but just let me kind of, let me go to Peggy, create. Right, these are gonna pop up and they don't go away. So this is really great right here. They're gonna pop up. They're not gonna go away. You can mute them or not mute them. You can go through the settings and the threshold of buying and selling. I got it at pretty much 70. So when they're cranking, right, when I'm watching stuff and I'm going through names and I got all this, and say I might have one book up or a couple up and spread across my monitors, but if anything I can keep them all and they'll let me know how they're trading, whether they're selling off or buyers are stepping up on them, and they'll beep in the headphones. Right, so Market Pulse is great because then I can keep my little watch list and kind of put it right here. Normally don't trade SPY too much, so I'll have them out all right here. And then as I'm going through his names, like if I wanted to play BNED or whatever, Peggy's starting to pop, or however, I was planned for that name, and have them all up right there through Market Pulse. So that was great. I thought that was a great, really great add-on right there. But yeah, guys, that's all I got. Much love, peace out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.